During the 3.5 decades that The Bold and the Beautiful has been on the air, many of its actors have portrayed beloved characters that not only left an indelible impression on its viewers, but also catapulted them to stardom. Sadly, the lives of some of the show's leading stars have been overshadowed by tragedies. The cast has endured their fair share of traumas and heartbreaks, from losing their children to being sexually molested by a family member. Here are the real-life personal tragedies of the stars. Starring in The Bold and the Beautiful, made a bona fide soap star out of Hunter Tylo. Despite achieving immense success, her life has had its fair share of twists and turns that sometimes ended in triumph and other times in tragedy. In 1998, her daughter Katya was diagnosed with a rare eye cancer called retinoblastoma. Katya's affected eye was subsequently removed, and by 2003, she was considered cancer-free. She has been wearing a prosthetic right eye ever since. The mother of 4 said in 2003, describing her daughter's condition, she was crying, she was showing signs of something that was painful. Hunter and her then-husband Michael admitted initially dismissing their daughter's cries for help as something less severe. "I looked down at her and I saw something milky white beneath the black part of the pupil," the actor confessed. When she turned her head a little, it made a red flash, similar to the way a pet looks. In 2007, another unimaginable tragedy struck Hunter's family, but this time it had far more devastating consequences. The star suffered every parent's worst nightmare when her 19-year-old son Mickey passed away after falling into the family pool following a seizure that had rendered him unconscious. The teenager was found dead while fully clothed in the pool behind his mother's Las Vegas residence. According to his mother, Mickey began having seizures in early 2005. Commenting on her son's illness, Hunter said that if it had been treated at the right time, his death could have been easily prevented. It's very ironic that a seizure disorder, which was really downplayed by his therapist, ended up being more fatal than the cancer his sister got. Ronn Moss was the face of Ridge Forrester from the first episode of the soap for a good 25 years, which turned him into an international sex symbol before he gave it all up. The actor shared in 2012 that he was in a devastating car accident alongside his wife, which affected his memory, making it impossible for the star to keep up with the pace of the show. Giving a detailed account of the night his life changed forever, the actor said, "It was a period that changed my life. The accident made me make a change. My wife and I were trapped in the car. We couldn't even move." He continued, explaining the aftermath of the accident that prompted him to abandon his role. "The car was completely destroyed. I had a fractured shoulder in 3 different places. It was bad. Then I discovered that my memory was gone." Lindsay Godfrey was diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin lymphoma at a fairly young age. And on the day of her 18th birthday, which should have been a day of celebration, she shaved her head to prepare for treatment. She underwent 12 rounds of chemotherapy over 6 months and was declared cancer-free. Unfortunately, this wasn't the only time she would be plagued by health issues. In December 2019, the actress was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Godfrey's symptoms included episodes of major depression and hypomania, unstable mood and sudden shifts, and feelings of emptiness and worthlessness. "I had been struggling for so long and I knew I wasn't okay," she revealed to People. "Even though it was a big, awful pill to swallow, I was relieved to finally have an answer and not just 'you're a shitty person.'" The 34-year-old is currently happy and healthy thanks to medication, cognitive behavioral therapy, and a strong network of family and friends, and she feels determined to help reduce the stigma surrounding mental health issues. Another very sensitive issue the star wants to remove the stigma and shame from is the behavior towards sexual abuse victims, having been one herself. During the Me Too movement, she bravely opened up about experiencing sexual abuse at the hands of her stepfather. "I am a sexual abuse survivor. My stepfather, who I call Dad, molested me from the age of 7 until 14 years old. It started small, groping and rubbing over my clothes on my breasts, between my legs and butt," she said. "Even now as I write this, I find it hard to say he rubbed my vagina over my clothes." Godfrey described even more inappropriate experiences, including a horrifying time when he forced himself inside of her following a night of heavy drinking. Windsor Harmon had a brush with death in LA in April 2018 after being hit by a car while out training on his bicycle for a bike race in LA. The star took to Instagram and shared a photo of his scraped helmet and credited it for saving his life, encouraging others to wear it too. Though the actor came out of the very scary incident with no broken bones, he needed rehab on his injured neck, shoulder, and back. Luckily, the only casualty of the accident was his bike, which the actor joked was not so lucky. Just a month later, the actor who portrayed Thorne Forrester for 2 decades found himself in more trouble, just of a different kind. Harmon was arrested for public intoxication. TMZ reported that he was found sleeping in his car in the San Fernando Valley, and the police arrested him after he appeared disoriented and intoxicated. The actor was eventually released and issued a citation. It was not too different a scenario when Harmon was busted for allegedly getting loaded in his car and peeing in front of a live audience earlier that year. When cops showed up, they found the pantsless actor inside his SUV with wine bottles spread around.
That's it for today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to make sure you stay up to date with celebrity gossip and the latest showbiz news.